Hey everybody. Alright, so I wanted to talk about The Witch. Now, of course, this was released a while back over in the US. It's just been released over here in the UK. It's a film that I've been looking forward to. I heard about this late last year, and I've been looking forward to it for quite a while. And of course, I went to see it yesterday, and this was interesting. This was a really interesting film, The Witch, because it's one of those where I liked it. Straight off the bat, I did like it, but it is one of those where I appreciate that it's not for everybody. It's got it's for a very select audience. It really is. Essentially, the story is, of course, it's set in the early 17th century, the 1630s to be precise, and it's set in America, in New England, about this family from England who've moved to America and settled there, and they were initially part of this Puritan community, but when the movie starts with them being cast out, essentially, they're cast out of the community, so they've got to find somewhere to live and fend for themselves. So they come upon this farmland, and so they set up here. They've got the house and just trying to survive as best they can on this farm, and fend for themselves. Now, within 100 yards of this farm, there is this forest, and the moment you see the forest, there's an establishing shot of it, very lingering shot of the forest, and immediately you know something is wrong. There is something in there that's going to, it's not going to end well. So they're moving this farmhouse, and they've got just trying to survive as best they can, and things seem to be going all right. You've got the husband, you've got the mother, the father, and we've got the kids. You've got their oldest daughter's about in her late teens. Then their eldest son is about 12, 13, 14. Then they've got two younger kids, around 7, 8, boy and a girl. And then the youngest, I think it's the youngest son he's the baby. And shortly after moving into the house, the baby goes missing. You've got the eldest daughter out in the garden with it. She's hanging out the washing, but she's keeping an eye on it, and she turns away for a brief second, and boom, gone, right? And instantly someone or something has come out of that goddamn forest, snatched the kid and took it back lightning fast. Don't know how the hell they've done it, but they've done it, right? So, and we subsequently find, well, the audience do, boom, it was a witch who took it, and it looks as though she went and ate the damn thing. Okay. So yeah, so boom, established. They've been targeted by a witch. That's probably not a good thing. Compounded by the fact that this family is a God-fearing family, but they are in the middle of nowhere. There was about 6 of them, down to 5, right? They are on their own. They are isolated. I think the nearest town is more than a day's ride away. So no one is coming to help you. So they've been targeted by this witch, and after the baby goes missing, it goes south real fast. Yeah, things get dark, and the whole family relationship begins to break down because paranoia and mistrust starts to set in. accusing the eldest daughter of being a witch, and she's the cause of, she took the baby, she's done something with it, she's in league with the devil. So you've got this whole paranoia setting in, and it gets very tense, and it does get very dark. Now, I don't want to give anything away, of course, but that's the story, As soon as that baby gets snatched by the witch, boom, everything goes south real fast from then on. And it does get very dark. And it has and again, not to give anything away, but a very dark ending as well. Now, the film itself, of course, an independent film. No real big names in this, of course. A very small cast, used very effectively though, and they all give really solid performances. You could tell this was, and the guy who directed it, he's done interviews with Collider Video. He's made clear this was very much a passion project, and when you look at this film, it's a very brave film in a lot of ways. A prime example is having the ending it has. Very brave move. And of course, this film is very, very much a slow burn. And a lot of the terror or the horror element comes from it. It's more psychological horror because there's very, very few jump scares. There's good mood, good atmosphere. Very few jump scares. A lot of the terror comes from this tension, this atmosphere, this mood, the isolation, and of course the paranoia that's set in, and just the mistrust. And in that respect, it is very, very reminiscent of The Thing, I thought. Because of course you got these group of guys in this research facility it's either the Arctic or wherever it is, but, completely cut off. No one is coming to help them, completely isolated. And then of course the Thing, it can assimilate anyone's identity, it can take on their form, so you don't know, who it's inside of. You don't know who is really who, and you've got this similar thing here. So you don't know who's human and who's alien in The Thing, and you don't know who is or isn't a witch in this film. You've got that real, sense of isolation, real sense of paranoia. So that's a real comparison you can draw that's very reminiscent of something like The Thing. Also saw, I think, on the discussion boards on the Internet Movie Database, reminiscent to a certain extent of something like The Shining as well. Again, isolated up at the Overlook Hotel, cut off from everywhere by the weather, communications are down, no one's coming to help, and again, paranoia again. So it's, that's another really good comparison. It's got elements of The Shining in there.